That's great, man. Way to go.
Cool, man. Well, you mentioned the personality thing. If you have time, expand on that a little bit. What did you discover about your personality according to the system?
Well, there's two personality tests we've done here. One's called Your Unique Design, and the other one's the Enneagram.
Yeah.
On Your Unique Design, they basically have 6 personality types. I'll see if I remember all of them. There's the achiever, the catalyzer, the dreamer, the persister, the harmonizer, and there's one other. The energizer. So basically, each person, I'll just give like a description, which, and I'm not sure, it's been a while since I've even done much with Your Unique Design, so somebody out there's probably gonna be like, he just totally messed that up. But the energizer is kind of like that person who is fun, they're like the life of the party. They bring energy into any situation they're in. Their life like can be really just like, man, they're the life, they bring energy. The catalyzers, that's kind of strong, they bring change, they're always looking for ways to do things different, charge the hill, that type of person. Okay. The persister is somebody who's very strong in like convictions and core beliefs, and very strong in like, man, this is right, this is wrong, let's we gotta make sure we stand for what's truth and what's right. Yeah. The harmonizer is kind of all about relationships. Like, man, I just want to have good relationships with those around me. I want to be in harmony, so to speak. I want to be at peace. I'm in distress if I don't have relational harmony. Then the dreamer is kind of that person who really lives in their head a lot, but they're very creative. They're deep thinkers. They can do all kinds of things with whether it's computers or whatever, just very creative in what they're able to accomplish. And then the achiever is that checkbox person, like, man, I want to get things done, I want to achieve, I want to accomplish, I want to, whatever, win medals. So in Your Unique Design, my 3 top, because they say you kind of have like a foundation, like this is your top, and then it builds on that foundation. You kind of have 3 that are real significant. Okay. And then the 3 are going to be more minimal. I mean, that's generalizing. Yeah. But for me, it was the achiever, persister, harmonizer was my mix. Okay. So yeah, I do accomplish things. I do want to get things done, but I also care a ton about my relationships, and I want to be good with people. If I'm in relational distress, that does distress me. And then also the persister, because there are certain things that I feel strongly about. Not everything, I'm going to be relaxed on a lot of things, but there's certain things I feel very strongly about. So that's kind of what I learned about myself through that personality test. Then the other one that we've got more into lately as a church is the Enneagram, which actually gives you numbers 1 through 9. Yeah. To describe who you are. You're familiar with that one?
The church that, what is it? Midtown Church? It's a new church plant. They were doing that, and I briefly looked it over and stuff, looked into it. I didn't take the course they were doing, but I talked to Ryan about it a little bit there.
Oh, nice. Yeah. Yeah, so on that one, you got, I don't know if you want me to go through all the numbers, but oh, sure. Yeah, number 1 is, there's the 1, which is kind of like the perfectionist, very, rule follower, great attention to detail. Mm-hmm. That person, man, if you give them a job to do, it's going to get done. It's going to get done.
Gotcha again.
Going to get done better than you thought. Yeah.
Yeah.
Downside with them sometimes is they have the voice in their head that's constantly telling them they're not good enough, that kind of thing. Yeah. Always seeing the imperfections in others too is another struggle they have. The 2 is kind of like the supportive advisor. That's the one that I am. And that one is, there's a lot of feelings. There's a lot of relationships matter. I want to be there for people. So a lot of that's great. You want to support, you want to help. People are always depending on you, but the downside is you can kind of like not say no to things. You can take on too much. You can kind of see yourself like, man, I got to have people like know that I'm important to them. If I'm going to feel important, that's the ugly side of that one. Then the 3 is kind of like the achiever, which is similar to what I said about with Your Unique Design. Yeah. And give me things to do, give me checklists, give me hills to climb. They want to succeed. They're usually pretty witty. They connect well with people. I'm actually a 2 with a wing 3, so I have some of that 3, but I'm a 4 and then I'm a wing 3. So I can see myself with traits and tendencies of the 3, but I'm at my core, I'm a 2. The downside of a 3 is they care too much about what people think. They're too conscious of their image, that kind of thing. The 4 is, I forgot what they're called. They're kind of like the person though who's unique. They don't want to be like everybody else. They want to stand out.
Yeah.
And because of that, though, they can bring a lot of, just value to people's lives. I think they're very deep into their feelings. They can be very encouraging. So that's kind of a 4. I haven't studied some of these other personality types as well, so I don't know if I'll have as much to say, but I know the 4, some of the downsides is they can live too much in their feelings and get stuck there almost and kind of roller coaster because of that. The 5 is kind of the researcher. So they are in their head a lot. They study things like all the time. Like you give them a topic to study, they're going to research the heck out of it. One of their, I was just talking to somebody who's a 5 today. They would say, we're a jack of all trades and a master of none, because they study so much. They're so well-rounded, but they can almost get lost in their research is kind of the downside.
Yeah.
They need time away from people. Like they can be with people, but if they're with people too much, they're going to just short circuit. So they've got to get away from people and that kind of thing. And they also can't get lost in their research and that type of thing. So then the 6 is kind of like a loyalist. So they're kind of the person who, and they're going to be a great friend. They're going to be loyal, responsible. Downside of them is they might have too much fear about worst case scenarios. Like, oh man, what's the worst thing that could happen here? I'll bet it's going to happen. That kind of thinking.
Yeah.
The 7s is kind of like that energizer. They're the ones who are fun. They have that life. They like to go at it. They like to, connect with tons of people. They like to do new things. They don't want to get stuck into, one situation for too long. So again, there's a lot of positives to that. Downside is, failure to really connect on a deeper level, stuff like that. Failure to commit. The 8 are kind of like those catalyzers. They're dominator, strong personality, charge the hill, follow me. They sometimes people are rallied to them. People are inspired by them. The downside is they can run people over.
Okay.
They have anger a lot of times that sometimes it's passion that people think is anger, so they intimidate, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And the 9s are like the peacemakers. So they're the ones who, man, I just want everyone to get along. I want people to be in peace with each other. I want relational harmony. So they're similar to 2s, but their motives are different. They want peace, whereas 2s kind of want love or be loved or whatever. 9s kind of want peace. And so their downside is they could sort of like, their tendency is to merge with the person they're with. And I don't mean like merge like in a weird way. I just mean like, they're like, man, I just want to be at where this person's at. And so they connect really well, but then also it's like, but who are you? What do you stand for? And you got to stand for certain things. You can't always, peace isn't always going to be the end result of this situation. There's going to be conflict, and 9s kind of run from that. They can fear. So those are kind of the different 9 personality types, and I found myself consistently to be a 2 with a wing 3. So
yeah.